Okay, so this story is pretty incredible. Imagine this. You're the youngest, the lowest ranking American POW in North Vietnam. Just a sailor?
Right, seemingly unimportant in the grand scheme.
Exactly. And yet somehow you become maybe the most crucial intelligence source of the whole war.
That's Doug Hegdahl, H-E-G-Dahl, yeah. He was eventually ordered home by the senior POWs.
Ordered home, yeah, with, what was it, over 250 names memorized?
256 names, actually. Names, service details, dates. Just astonishing given the conditions.
Totally. So we're going to pull out some game-changing insights from Mark Leibson's book, The Unlikely War Hero, a Vietnam War POW story of courage and cunning, wisdom you might actually use. So first up, this idea of, subversive creativity. Hegdahl's resistance. It wasn't always defiance. Sometimes it was humor.
Weaponized humor, really. Like when they forced him to making a propaganda film.
He didn't just refuse. That would be too obvious, maybe too dangerous.
Right. Instead, he basically turned every scene into this wild comedy improv show. He completely derailed it.
Yeah, I read he was joking around with the local villagers, the extras, even dunking other actors underwater in one scene.
Uh-huh. Playfully, but, completely ruining the shot. The director was apparently screaming at him. Just losing it.
But the crowd loved it.
They loved it. He became this sort of folk entertainer for a bit. It made the intended message totally impossible.
So, okay, here's the interesting part for us, maybe.
Yeah.
How can you use that? That kind of unexpected, maybe slightly absurd humor to, get back some control when things are really stressful?
Yeah, it disarmed them. Which leads kind of into the next big thing. The sheer power of his memory.
Oh, right. The names. 256 names. When he got out, he just recited them.
From memory. And this wasn't just a list, like you said. This was critical intelligence. Life-saving, actually.
How so? What did it change?
Well, think about it. His information officially moved 63 men from missing in action MIA to prisoner of war. 63 families suddenly knew their son, their husband, was alive.
Wow. That's huge. It also exposed the North Vietnamese lies about prisoner treatment, right?
Absolutely. It blew holes in their propaganda and eventually helped improve conditions because the world started paying attention. He was specifically ordered home by the POW leadership because he had this data in his head.
But how? How do you even do that? Memorize hundreds of names, details, under torture, isolation.
Well, he didn't just try to remember. He used a system, mnemonics, like associating names with specific physical spots in the prison camp, a mental map.
So Smith is by that guard tower, Jones is near the well.
Something like that, yeah. Rhymes, visual cues tied to locations. He turned the prison itself into his memory palace, basically. And this is where we see Mindful Moments, our YouTube channel, digging into stuff like this, AI book analysis, summaries, critiques, really trying to spark that kind of reflection and rational thought.
Okay, so building on that, maybe the most counterintuitive thing. His captors nicknamed him.
Yeah, they called him the incredibly stupid one.
Seriously.
Seriously, and well, he leaned into it hard.
He used it.
Totally. He played dumb, acted like this clueless farm boy who couldn't possibly understand politics or military matters. He wasn't stupid at all. He was playing them.
So by seeming weak or simple?
He gained trust. Or at least he wasn't seen as a threat. Interrogators dismissed him. Guards let him wander more freely than other prisoners.
Which gave him the access.
To collect all those names, to observe routines, gather intel. His perceived weakness was his greatest strength, his cover.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How can playing dumb or, tactical ignorance be a tool, letting people underestimate you in high-stakes situations?
Sometimes knowing less or seeming to know less lets you see more.
Which brings us to the last big idea. What even is heroism?
Right. Hegdahl wasn't a battlefield hero in the traditional sense. No jumping on grenades.
No dramatic last stands. His heroism was quieter. It was mental discipline, that memory work we talked about, and then, crucially, advocacy after he got out.
Exactly. His testimony about the torture, the conditions, he delivered it at the Paris peace talks. It had a real impact on policy, on negotiations, potentially saving lives down the line.
So it challenges that standard image of a war hero, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Broadens the definition.
Definitely. It shows courage can be intellectual, administrative even. It's something important to think about, especially how we teach history or talk about courage. It's not always loud.
So his story really makes you reconsider what true strength and impact look like. Okay, so if you want to explore this more, start with these 5-minute essential insights, which you just heard. Then you can dive into our in-depth analysis. After that, check out the summary, and finally, the comprehensive critique. Discover genre-based book insights at Mindful Moments. Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.